I'm going to teach you the most powerful secret that collection companies do not want you to know. This is not financial advice and this is not legal advice, and I am not an attorney. On today's episode, we're going to cover a massive topic against collection companies. That is called the refusal to pay. A lot of these gurus never talk about the refusal to pay, so that tells me that they really don't actually follow a lot of the consumer tactics that are just laid out very clearly for everyone to use, but consumers don't understand how to truly use it and how powerful it can be against any collection company. Refusal to pay. It is the most simplest, most powerful thing that you can ever say to a collection company, but the problem is nobody ever uses it properly, and they like to add words, add verbiage, and just really just dirty it all up. You don't want to do that. You want to simplify your response. You can send this in text message, you can send it in email, you could send it by letter. You really truly want to send it by letter, certified mail, and with a actual return receipt, so you have proof that they actually received it. Now, when you send certified mail, it's going to give you tracking information on a receipt. Keep that, because it's actually going to track it for you and tell you when they actually received it. The return receipt is very powerful because guess what? They have to sign the little piece of paper and then it gets mailed back to you, so then you have their signature, whoever the representative was of the company. Now, if you send it by text or email, it can be used, but in a court of law, attorneys always want the letter. That's what they want. This is the hard, solid proof. Now, you can actually handwrite the letter or you can type it up. It's not necessary to type it up. As a matter of fact, if you handwrite it, it's even more powerful because they can never say it didn't come from you directly. Now, at the top of your letter, you're going to put your full name, your full mailing address, and the date you're going to actually mail out your letter. Underneath that, you're going to put the collection company name, collection account number, collection amount, and the collection company's full address. Now, underneath that, you're going to put to whom it may concern. You're going to put, I refuse to pay this debt. Thanks. Put your actual name. You do not have to sign it. You can type up or handwrite your name. It's literally that simple. If you never received a letter from the collection company and you don't have their address and you just have it on your credit report, now you can go to annualcreditreport.com. It is 100% free and you can get your credit reports for free once a week, not once a year, but it has been changed to once a week. Scroll all the way down to the very bottom of your credit report and you will see the listed collection company's name, their address, and phone number if it's available. You can use that address directly from your credit report to know what address you need to send it to. You send it certified mail with return receipt. Make copies of everything. Copies of the letter that you sent, copies of your receipts, copy of the return receipt, and the little actual green certified sticker too. All of it. You want to keep copies for all of your records. Now stop. Do not mail out your letter just yet. You want to pull a copy of any of the credit reports that is showing the collection on your credit reports from annualcreditreport.com. It's very important that you do this step right here because you want to show exactly how it's reporting before you mail it out. This is the biggest step that everyone actually misses because we want to show proof of what it looked like before you mailed out the letter. And now you've got a copy of your annual credit report. You've got it saved in PDF. If you want to, you can print it, save it in PDF. It's even better, but it has to come from annualcreditreport.com, not any credit monitoring site or any of that. Attorneys cannot use that and judges cannot use that because what can happen is a collection company can say, oh, it's a third-party credit reporting company. Oh, that's not accurate. It didn't come directly from Experian, Equifax, or TransUnion. Go ahead and nip it in the bud. Get it directly from Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion from annualcreditreport.com for 100% free. Now you have your annual credit reports that show exactly how it's reporting and your proof saved in PDF. Now you mail your letter certified mail with return receipt because we need all the proof we can get. Now we're going to wait a maximum of 30 days. Now do not go past 30 days. You want to just keep it at a maximum of 30 days. Then we're going to pull our credit report again from annualcreditreport.com to see if they have marked it or changed anything on it. We're looking for them to mark it in dispute or consumer disputes. If they mark marked it in dispute or consumer disputes, that is a direct violation of the FDCPA, because guess what? We didn't dispute anything. We told them that we refused to pay. That is not the same. Now, that is one way that you can catch them, but there's another one. It's called 1692C, communication in connection with debt collection. We want to trigger this specific law because if they communicate with you in any way, shape, or form, this is dead end for them. Now, this is exactly how it breaks it down. If a consumer notifies a debt collector in writing that the consumer refuses to pay a debt, or that the consumer wishes the debt collector cease further communication with the consumer, the debt collector shall not communicate further with the consumer with respect to such debt, except to advise the consumer that the debt collector's further efforts are being terminated, to notify the consumer that the debt collector or creditor may invoke specified remedies which are ordinarily invoked by such debt collector or creditor, and then the same thing on 3 again the same way. But we want to make sure that they cannot communicate with us any further, and if they do, as we just lined this up, guess what? That's a direct violation and they can be sued directly. Last part is the most important. It's very important to send this by mail because you want to create a case, but also it clearly states in the FDCPA, if such notice from the consumer is made by mail, notification shall be complete upon receipt. So that's very important that you follow that step because they're telling you we need the proof. But there's also another part underneath it, consumer defined. This is very, very important. For the purpose of this section, the term consumer includes the consumer's spouse, parent, if the consumer is a minor, guardian, executor, or administrator. So if you are married and your wife gets a letter from a debt collector, the husband can send it for the wife and the collection company has to abide by it. Now, if the wife is going to send a letter for the husband because the husband received a letter from the debt collector, she can do that also. And the debt collection company must abide by it because that's the term and definition of an actual consumer, and nobody ever uses this. Now, the debt collector may not communicate with you or your spouse if you sent it on behalf of your spouse, unless it is to advise the consumer that the debt collector further efforts are being terminated, or to notify the consumer that the debt collector or creditor may invoke specified remedies which are ordinarily invoked by such debt collector or creditor, or to notify the consumer that the debt collector or creditor intends to invoke a specified remedy. Now, this is very important to understand. If they communicate with you besides that through email, through phone, through text, through letters in the mail, or through social media, that is a violation that they can be sued for in small claims court, or you can find a local consumer law attorney that will take the case on your behalf. Now, generally speaking, consumer law attorneys work on contingency based. You present them the case, they have all the evidence, and they will take their fees out of the debt collector, and it should not cost you anything out of pocket if you do it exactly like I taught you. There is a website called consumeradvocates.org. You can find any consumer law attorney in your specific state for your specific issues. The site is 100% free. You can find the attorney in your local area, reach out to them, and use them if you need them. That is going to be your number one source to find a consumer law attorney in your local state. Or you can do it on your own and file an actual lawsuit in small claims court in your county. That can also be done by you all on your own. You don't necessarily need an attorney for this, but if you feel that you got something, you got a good case, then go after it. Go find yourself an attorney. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure that you watch the next video because it is about how to delete hard inquiries. And don't forget, subscribe to increase your credit score.